have been made by Lee Carsley, so he's brought in Ethan Waneri and Hayden Hackney into the side, so Amari Hutchinson and Alex Scott are among the substitutes. So the England team: Beadle, Gray, Cresswell, Kwanzaa and Livramento, Anderson and Hackney, Waneri, Elliott, McAtee the captain and Jonathan Rowe. And one of the things I think I would like to see settle down a bit tonight, Stephen, I don't know about you, I think that Kwanzaa-Cresswell central defensive partnership, which is obviously brand new, but I'd like to see that understanding grow.
Yeah, I think the big thing with those two players is that they've got exceptional potential. Now it's about putting it together, one of them becoming a leader or both becoming leaders on the pitch and almost demanding more of players in and around them, taking more responsibility. I think one of the things you have to do within a tournament is grow as a player as well, and I think those two players are certainly two players that have got big futures in the game. I think Charo Kwanzaa I would have watched a little bit more of this season at Liverpool. Suffered early on in the season, the first game notably against Ipswich, where he was taken off at half time, and that really knocked his confidence. But I thought towards the end of the campaign when he came on, I thought on in games, whether it was at right back for Trent Alexander-Arnold or it was at centre back for Kanate, I thought he excelled. But I think there's still a feeling around Liverpool as to, does his future lie at Liverpool? And this is a big tournament for him, because potentially there are suitors out there that will be watching and seeing where he's at.
So teams are in the tunnel. We'll be handing over to our commentary team in just a moment. But final thoughts then from Nedim and Nigel. There's a big potential question mark over a few of these players in terms of the World Cup next year. Can they make that leap over, Nedim, to the senior ranks? Someone who's done it once, Tino Livramento. He was the man of the match in their opening game. And he is someone that Thomas Tuchel has said, I want to see him in a leadership role and I want to see him do something in this tournament before I'd potentially have him back in my ranks.
Yeah, absolutely. There's going to be pressure involved with playing for England at any sort of level, but when you have the eyes of the full England manager on you, then yeah, there's a bit more, but he'll believe that he's good enough to be able to do it. And yes, the 21s is where he's at right now, but if he finishes the tournament with a medal, lifting a trophy, then he can make a great case for himself going into the next season.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Stephen's hit the nail on the head for me when you talk about Livramento and Waneri. I think they're the two players that you're probably looking at that could be the ones to push themselves into that World Cup squad a year down the line. But they've got to show what they can do in these situations. Now, you're only as good as your last game, as we were told when we were young.
Nedim, Nigel, thank you very much. Enjoy the Club World Cup.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
See you soon. Nedim Manua and Nigel Reo-Coker joining us there. So let's hand you over to our team then. England against Slovenia, playing in Slovakia. Second group game of the Euros under-21 tournament. So we'll join our team, former Liverpool and England left-back Stephen Warnock and our correspondent John Murray.
Yes, thank you very much, Katie. And the team's just walking out.
As to, does his future lie at Liverpool? And this is a big tournament for him, because potentially there are suitors out there that will be watching and seeing where he's at.
So teams are in the tunnel. We'll be handing over to our commentary team in just a moment. But final thoughts then from Nedim and Nigel. There's a big potential question mark over a few of these players in terms of the World Cup next year. Can they make that leap over, Nedim, to the senior ranks? Someone who's done it once, Tino Livramento. He was the man of the match in their opening game. And he is someone that Thomas Tuchel has said, I want to see him in a leadership role and I want to see him do something in this tournament before I'd potentially have him back in my ranks.
Yeah, absolutely. There's going to be pressure involved with playing for England at any sort of level, but when you have the eyes of the full England manager on you, then yeah, there's a bit more, but he'll believe that he's good enough to be able to do it. And yes, the 21s is where he's at right now, but if he finishes the tournament with a medal, lifting a trophy, then he can make a great case for himself going into the next season.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Stephen's hit the nail on the head for me when you talk about Livramento and Waneri. I think they're the two players that you're probably looking at that could be the ones to push themselves into that World Cup squad a year down the line. But they've got to show what they can do in these situations. Now, you're only as good as your last game, as we were told when we were young.
Nedim, Nigel, thank you very much. Enjoy the Club World Cup.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
See you soon. Neda Manu and Nigel Reo-Coker joining us there. So let's hand you over to our team then. England against Slovenia, playing in Slovakia. Second group game of the Euros under-21 tournament. So we'll join our team, former Liverpool and England left-back Stephen Warnock and our correspondent John Murray.
Yes, thank you very much, Katie.
Every game is free on DAZN.com/flashscore. That's DAZN.com/flashscore.
Gray, Cresswell, Canary, McAtee and Jonathan Rowe. So Hutchinson and Scott are on the substitutes bench along with everyone else, the other members of the squad. Everyone's okay and fit and ready for selection. What do you think of the changes, those two changes that Lee Carsley's made?
Well, I thought he might make changes. I actually felt a little bit for Alex Scott. I thought he played okay the other day. I thought he retained the ball well. I thought obviously he's got the chin strap on, so he's playing with something that's a little bit different for him, a little bit uncomfortable. But on a whole, I thought he performed really well. But you just felt in the attacking areas they had to change something. They had to bring someone with a little bit more attacking intent in 1v1s, and Waneri's the one who's got the nod to do that.
And the Slovenia team, their coach Andrej Razda, who only took over in February, he has named an unchanged team. So even though they lost 3-0 to Germany, it is still Turk in goal, the captain, three central defenders, Kuzmic, Golic and Yevshenak, and then the wing backs, Ilenic on the right, Brest on the left, in the middle Zelkovic and Ostertz.
He has been fouled there. Sticks in a foot to win it back. Looks to thread it through. Played into space out wide. Well, when the options aren't quite present in the box, it's the crosser's interest to hold on for the support. And it's Sané. Davis goes looking. Forward it goes. Goalkeeper's ball. Hoists it forward. Lovely feet. Header! They're really the MVP.
'25 FIFA Club World Cup. Well, got underway last night in Miami. Lionel Messi's Inter Miami and Egyptian Giants. Today has the opportunity to create history and become the expanded Club World Cup. Here's Stanisic now for Bayern, down the left for Coman. And you have to say that, for all the best will in the world, that fitness could be an issue for the New Zealanders this afternoon. Many of them taking annual leave to come to the US for the tournament. Quite the story. It's wonderful. You don't get stories, I guess, anymore of the plucky part-timers taking on the big boys. Really only the odd time in the FA Cup you get this sort of story, but this is quite something else. So a wonderful moment for while Paul Posa said that they're out here representing 95% of the world's footballing population, the amateur footballers across the world, representing amateur football, not just Auckland City, not just New Zealand, but representing their amateur footballers around the world. The stadium not quite full this afternoon, but a large swathes of red. Bayern have a big presence in the US. Of course they would, being a big, I want to say, one of the European football's big behemoths, and over 200 supporters clubs across the entire USA. Many of them have turned out today. Auckland City are in the group of the Killer Bees, also along with Benfica, the Portuguese giants, and Boca Juniors, the Argentinian giants. It's a group of death, but also a group of dreams for them. Here's Olise now on the edge of the box for Bayern. He plays at the left corner of the penalty area, swung across and flicked away there. That might be a free kick. It is against Jonathan Tah, the new man. As he fouls that man I mentioned, the top scorer for Auckland City last season, Meyer Bevan. And Auckland City, not to be confused with Auckland SC, who are a fully professional side who take part in the Australian A-League. They've won the New Zealand National Championship 9 times, finished third in the Northern Division last year, but as I mentioned, they've won 11 of the last 13 Oceania Champions Leagues, including the last 4 in a row. As the goalkeeper Tracy knocks that free kick forward. Up went Manicum there with Bowie, and it's going to be a throw in to Auckland City on the left hand side, midway inside the Bayern Munich half, taken by Rejon Murati. He goes back to Boxall, as I mentioned, his brother. Lions out for Minnesota United here in Major League Soccer, as well as being a New Zealand international. That's cleared away down there by Adam Mitchell down the line. So throw into Bayern, it will be on the left, on halfway. As we look at Paul Posa, the Auckland City FC head coach. Here's Tah now for Bayern, midway inside the Auckland City half to Kimmich. Smooth operator he is, out on the right for Bowie, the French international. Kimmich back to Tah. And his pass a little heavy for Stanisic, but it'll find Coman on the left-hand touchline. Keane on the edge of the box. Nice touch there from Keane to Guerrero, but he loses out. Pavlovic with a header, and Manicum steps in front of Thomas Muller. Manuel Neuer all in lime green. The Bayern goalkeeper was out the halfway line to get that ball. Here's Tah to Kimmich. Arrows one out on the left corner of the penalty area for Coman. Turns inside Murati. Plenty of white shirts in front of him. Back to Tah. Bowie on the edge of the box. Sasha Bowie. Olise, right hand side of the penalty area. Michael Olise, couple of step overs. On his left foot, Kimmich chips one into the back post. Up goes Coman with a header. Great save, Connor Tracy. That's a stunning save from the Auckland City goalkeeper to prevent a header, a rare header from Kingsley Coman from nestling in the top corner. Brilliant stop there. Kimmich just floating one in there. Coman getting up above Mitchell. And that header was going for the top corner, but Tracy gets up to get a big right paw to it and tip it over the crossbar. And it's the first corner of the afternoon here for Bayern on the 5-minute mark. Kimmich will take it. Can they hold out here again? Issa Sai, this our Senegalese referee, not happy. I think it's their Adam Mitchell. So it's actually Nathan Lobo and Alexander Pavlovic who are jostling in the middle. Joshua Kimmich now. Right hand goes in the air. And he delivers one deep to the back post. Tah nods across. Oh, come on, and he can't stop this header, Tracy. And Kingsley Coman opens the scoring for Bayern Munich after 6 minutes. And he is the man who gets the first goal of the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup. And well, any nerves Bayern Munich might have had, not that I imagine they had too many. They're fully a professional side. Are now exonerated. Maybe any nerves that their supporters had now will be calmed by that one. Connor Tracy did a brilliant job with the initial header, but Jonathan Tah just going all the way to the back post for Kimmich's deep delivery, nodded it back across. Coman got a head to it, and in fairness, Tracy got a hand to it, but he wasn't going to keep that one out. And Bayern Munich take the lead here on 6 minutes. Kingsley Coman gives them the lead and scores the first goal of this Club World Cup in game number 2. So, what do Auckland City have in response here? Well, I thought they might have won a free kick, but no, the ball's at the top. Now Meyer Bevan is in the right corner of the penalty area, followed out there by Stanisic. He's forced wide now. Bevan into the little slither of shade there as the sun is out here on a sunny Sunday afternoon in Cincinnati. There's Mitchell. Good football there, Ilic, and now Bevan again trying to beat Stanisic to that one, but Stanisic a little bit too quick, but he overruns it, and that's a corner for Auckland City. So a really good response from the amateurs of New Zealand. And in fact, that man I was looking at was not, in fact, Paul Posa. That was Ivan Viculic, and in fact, that has gone as a goal kick for Bayern. I thought that last touch came off Josip Stanisic, but either way, good work there from Meyer Bevan to put the big Croatian centre half under pressure. Now here's Coman out on the left hand side. And Coman, left footed delivery. Headed away at the back post by Lobo. Back to Boe. Now Olise to the byline, gets past Lobo. Olise cuts it back, good block there by the captain Mario Ilic, and it's a corner for Bayern. Nathan Lobo had to be really careful there not to foul Olise, and he didn't. And the captain Mario Ilic comes across to knock that one behind. And it comes, headed away to the edge of the box. Boe left footer, and he shanks that one way over the top. Poor effort there from Sasha Boe. So that corner comes to nothing for Bayern. You see that header from Kingsley Coman to open the scoring. His 71st goal for Bayern Munich, just a serial winner wherever he has been. Kingsley Coman, be that where he started at Paris Saint-Germain, had a spell at Juventus, and now one of the long-serving Bayern Munich players. So now he's back on the halfway line here with Mitchell. And back all the way to Tracy, all in sky blue, the Auckland City goalkeeper, who made a wonderful save early on from Kingsley Coman's initial header, but from that corner he couldn't stop Coman's header after it was nodded back across the face of goal by Jonathan Tah, who, as I mentioned, is the Bayern's first big signing of the summer from Bayer Leverkusen, who Bayern won the Bundesliga title, wrestled it back off them last season. And well, you look at that Bayer Leverkusen team now with Xabi Alonso off to Real Madrid, Taz here at Bayern Munich, Jeremy Frimpong and Florian Wirtz away to Liverpool. There's a foul there by Alexander Pavlovic. That was on David Yu. A bit of a reckless one from the German international. So free kick it is to Auckland on the right hand side, midway inside their own half. That Bayer Leverkusen team, as mentioned, they're just maybe starting to crumble a little bit, but they'll always have that wonderful 23-24 season under Xabi Alonso. Here's Tracy, sends it long left footed up over halfway, taken down the chest by Kimmich under pressure from Dylan Manicum, and he'll go back to Neuer on the edge of the box. Stanisic now, who also won the Bundesliga with Bayer Leverkusen on loan with Xabi Alonso's side that summer, so he's actually won back-to-back Bundesliga titles now, the Croatian, and was actually allowed to play against Bayern for Bayer Leverkusen that year and scored a goal against them late in the season, one of the big victories on the way to that historic first title for the Werkself. But we're here looking at Bayern Munich, not Bayer Leverkusen. It's Olise around 30 yards to go, twisting and turning, trying to get away from Ilic, but his 1-2 with Muller doesn't quite work up, but Muller wins it back. Now Bowie on the right hand side is going to chip one into the back post, looking for Kane, away by Lobo, hit by Pavlovic and wide, and that's another Bayern Munich effort. They're really raining down the shots here on goal in the opening 11 minutes, but so far it's Bayern Munich 1, Auckland City 0. Kingsley Coman with the opening goal on 6 minutes after Connor Tracy in the Auckland City goal had made a brilliant save from his initial header to tip it over the bar. He couldn't keep Coman's header right from the resulting corner. Bit of pressure there on Lobo, And looking for Manicum, he can't find him, but now he wins it back, and now Manicum gets away from Kimmich. Over halfway line here, Dylan Manicum. Sasha Bowie tracking back. He has Bevan on the left corner of the penalty area. Gets past Ta. Now into the box goes Lobo, but Bowie is strong. And we'll just see that one out for a goal kick. But Auckland City certainly not scared of their illustrious opponents here, taking it to them. As you would expect, it's the only way to do it, really. Because if you shrink into your shell, Bayern Munich are just going to pick you off. You might as well have a go. You're not always going to get a chance to play against such illustrious players here as Michael Elise on the ball. Right corner of the penalty area, faced up by Manicum. He jinks past him. Now here's Pavlovic on the edge of the box again. Works out to the left corner of the penalty area for Rafael Guerreiro. Como on the goal scorer ahead of him. He goes back to Guerreiro, left corner of the penalty area, and the Portuguese international stands one up for Harry Kane. And another good his save there from Tracy. A looping header from Kane. He couldn't really get any power on it. Guerreiro was just stood one up. Not much pace on the ball. Kane got up above Boxall, and I think he's complaining that Lobo maybe had hands in his back, but Issa Say, the referee, says no. In fact, he's actually turned around and said that it was a free kick against Harry Kane, so no goal kick. There'll be a free kick just a few yards further forward for Connor Tracy to take. Tracy sends it long. Now on the left hand side for Dylan Manicum. Cuts onto his right foot. Manicum back to Illich. Illich now back with Michael Den Heyer. On the right hand side for Murati. Back to Mitchell. Auckland City holding possession here. Den Heyer back to Tracy on the edge of the box. Tracy and Boxall's clearance is blocked by Olise and out for a throw in to the New Zealanders on the left hand side, midway inside their own half. 14 minutes gone here in Cincinnati. Bayern Munich 1, Auckland City FC 0. And Mark Strange guiding you through this game number 2 of the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup, as Bayern Munich now have a free kick here just on halfway on the right, which Bowie will take and rolls across to Stanisic. Pavlovic now. Kimmich. As Bowie making a run ahead of him, he'll use Olise on the right. Now Bowie to the byline, but Olise puts too much on it. And that's a goal kick, so that spell of pressure goes by the wayside. It's a warm afternoon here, early afternoon here in Cincinnati. It was a noon kickoff local time. This is the first of 4 games today on match day number 2 in the FIFA Club World Cup, after Inter Miami and Al Ahly played out a goalless draw to open the tournament last night at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. We've had our first goal of the tournament, scored by Kingsley Coman here. Coming up after us, we've got a big clash of 2 European giants, an 8 o'clock kickoff. The Champions League winners just over 2 weeks removed from their victory in Munich in the Champions League final. Paris Saint-Germain are back to it, and they couldn't have asked for a much harder start against Atletico Madrid in Los Angeles. And then after that, it's the Brazilian giants Palmeiras against FC Porto. That one taking place at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, technically home of the New York Giants and New York Jets of the NFL. Here's Ta now to Kimmich on the right corner of the penalty area. And then in the middle of the night, UK time anyway, it is at Seattle, Lumen Field for the home side there. Seattle Sounders taking on the Copa Libertadores champions Botafogo. So some big games coming up here this afternoon, this evening. Kimmich with the ball forward, looking for Kane. Header away by Boxall. Bowie wins a bit of head tennis there with Lobo. And now Olise to Kimmich. Kimmich to Ta. 1-2 with Pavlovic now. Ta back for Olise. Let that one run, and just let it run a little too long, and out for a throw-in. Is real sunshine here on TQL Stadium. tomorrow night, Chelsea are in action for the first time as they take on late qualifiers for tournament LAFC. They come in for Club Leon. The Mexicans dropping out due to dual ownership issues, so LAFC beating Club America in a play-in at the end of May to qualify for the tournament, and their reward is facing Chelsea. Here's Boe. Enzo Maresca's Chelsea, that is, of course. Elise, formerly of Crystal Palace. Now Ta. Stanisic out under the left-hand side here for Coman. Guerrero overlapping. Murati facing him up. Coman back to Boe. Ta. Kimmich, left corner of the penalty, right corner of the penalty, dinks within. Coman nods it down for Boe, hits one into the far corner, and it's 2-0. Sasha Boe, but Bayern Munich 2-0 up, and Auckland City had been withholding pressure, but it's a double now for two Frenchmen for Bayern. Kingsley Coman with the first, now Sasha Boe with the second. He lashes one back across goal into the far corner of the net. The ball initially in from Kimmich, good knockdown from Coman to Boe, who rifled it back across Connor Tracy and into the far corner from the right corner of the 6-yard box. And Auckland City, who have been resisting quite well in the 10 minutes since going behind, can resist no more. And Sasha Boe celebrates on 18 minutes, making it Bayern Munich 2, Auckland City 0. And the part-timers will get us back underway here. 2-0 down. Fundamentally, they've never lost a Club World Cup game by more than 3 goals, Auckland City. I think Bayern might want to put that one to the test today. Pavlovic looking for Elise. It was one back. Now here's Manicum, midway inside his own half. Overruns that one slightly, but he'll still find Meyer Bevan. Now Bevan out on the right-hand side for you. And looking for Bevan again, but Stanisic just steps out of defence there. And it's just, Bayern are just that step or two quicker. Auckland certainly are taking it to Vincent Kompany's side, but they are, Bayern just, as I say, just a little bit quicker. Now here's Elise, he's really quick and he's going to get past Lobo to the byline, cuts it back, it's behind Harry Kane. Pavlovic looks to get to it before you does. There's a 1-2 with Kimmich. Guerrero, lovely turn from Thomas Muller to Kane. Oh, couldn't get a shot away. Elise can, 3-0 from just 4 yards out as Michael Elise makes it 3 for Bayern Munich. Harry Kane won't be happy with that. He made a mess of the finish, but the ball dropped for Elise, and now it's 3 different French scorers for Bayern in the opening 20 minutes here. Bayern Munich 3, Auckland City 0. Elise initially doing really well to get to the byline. His cutback went behind Harry Kane, but Pavlovic kept it alive. It was a lovely turn from Thomas Muller to get himself away from Adam Mitchell. His cut back to Kane, who was under pressure from Boxall. He couldn't get a shot away, but Elise was there at the back post just to smash it home from, all of 3 or 4 yards, and he wasn't going to miss. And Bayern are already starting to pull away from Auckland City. It's 3-0, 3 different scores, 3 Frenchmen for Bayern, Coman, Boe, and now Elise. And the brave early resistance of Auckland City has gone by the wayside. We've hit 20 minutes here now in Cincinnati. Issa Say now is actually going to check for a VAR, so there might be a reprieve here. I'm not really sure what for, maybe an offside. I certainly didn't see one, but so there might be a reprieve here for Auckland City. No, not to be. The goal stands. And we're back underway here. Bayern Munich 3, Auckland City 0. Now Tracy sends one long. Good touch from Manicum in front of Vincent Kompany there. Skips away from Boe. Now Ilic holds off the challenge of Pavlovic. And now it's back here with Boxall. Boxall drops deep for that one. One back though by Kimmich. Strong challenge. And now Elise finds Coman in the box here. Kingsley Coman. Good footwork to try and get away from De Hayden. Oh, and he finishes into the bottom corner. Kingsley Coman with his second and Bayern's fourth, and 22 minutes gone. It's Bayern Munich 4, Auckland City 0. And Vincent Kompany's men are showing no mercy here, capitalising on any errors. It was one back in midfield by Joshua Kimmich off of David Yu. And from there, Bayern were ruthless. It was Coman twisting and turning away from Michael Den Heyer. And then just a left-footed strike into the far corner. And he buries that one. And it's 4-0 to Bayern Munich. And poor Connor Tracy, I mentioned, made a lovely save earlier in the game from Kingsley Coman. Now with 22 minutes gone, he's conceded twice to Coman. And we're back underway here, and Auckland City really, they've got to stem the tide here. They were doing really well after the first goal went in, but now Bayern have just upped the intensity, and Manicum now loses out to Kimmich on the right, and Kimmich then skips away from a man again, and out midway inside his own half comes Neuer, and now Stanisic. Well, how realistic a shock today was, I'm not sure. You just never know. But Bayern Munich have certainly put paid to any thought of that. Here's Olise to Kimmich. Harry Kane hasn't got himself a goal yet. He'll be annoyed at that. Olise, lovely turn away from Ilic, and still going Olise. Good challenge by Lobo. And Ilic tries to come away. One back by Pavlovic. So Muller finds Kane on the edge of the 6-yard box. Back to goal, surrounded by white shirts, and he's forced out wide. Lobo will go with him. And in fact, there's a free kick to Auckland City. I think an offside flag went up there against Harry Kane. So it is 4-0 to Bayern Munich here against the plucky amateurs of Auckland City.
Hello guys, please make sure you hit the like button.
Back with Tracy. Look at, some of these, part-time versus the megastars as Ta nods Tracy's long goal kick back to Neuer. We've got Tottenham this year in January in the third round of the FA Cup, away to Tamworth of the National League. And it took extra time for Ange Postecoglou's men to eventually win 3-0, which really flattered them, but they were goalless after 90 minutes. That perhaps should have been a warning sign as to his side's demise in the Premier League. Of course, winning the Europa League still didn't save the Australian his job. Ange Postecoglou played in the Club World Cup in his playing days back in 91 with his Melbourne side. Now here comes you down the right hand touchline. Harry Kane gets back. That's just the hunger that levels this game that Bayern Munich are showing here.
The Jonas Fan channel, why are you coming?
He's certainly not being bullied by the big German international. Bayern so far, though, with 9 shots on goal, 6 on target. Auckland yet to test Manuel Neuer. Pavlovic to Kimmich. Now Olise. Bowie out in the right-hand touchline. The sun really shining here in this early Sunday afternoon in Cincinnati. Kimmich. Stanisic. Bayern had a bit of a goal flurry there, scoring 3 inside 5 minutes. But it's gone now 10 minutes without a fifth. Mercifully for Auckland City. Here's Bowie now. But the pressure has been relentless. Olise, right-hand side, in line with the edge of the 18-yard box. Goes back to Bowie. Ta and now Pavlovic. Stanisic back to Ta. He's about 30 yards from goal. Olise ups the pace for Keane, but good challenge by Ilic. And Bowie and Lobo will challenge for on the right hand side. No free kick despite Auckland City's claims. Olise. Pavlovic. Now on the left corner of the penalty area. Coman in. Ooh, and Guerrero went up for a header, but basically cleared it away. He was facing the wrong way. It was basically a clearance header from a defender there. Here's Pavlovic now. Nice work there, Pavlovic to the byline, cuts it back. It was going over everybody. Manicum hooks it away. Both Keane and Muller tried to get to that one, but it was Dylan Manicum who got it away. And now here's Olise to Bowie at the byline, cuts one back, and has that gone too far? They got one out for a goal kick, indeed it did. So goal kick it is to Auckland City. 34 minutes gone here at TQL Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm Mark Strange, live for you for Flash Score UK at the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup. Match number 2, where it's Bayern Munich 4, Auckland City 0. After Inter Miami and Al-Ahly drew a blank last night, Kingsley Coman scored the first goal of the tournament. He's gone on to get another. That's been a French scorer so far for Bayern. French Revolution, some might say. Coman with 2, Olise, and this man on the ball, Sacha Bowie, with the other. Bowie to Kimmich. Pavlovic. Guerrero overhits that one to Keane. And Boxall took a touch under pressure from Keane, gets it away, and now Manicum overruns that one, and Bowie will get to it at the sideline. Manicum forces him to play it as Bowie is looking to just let it run for a throw-in. Bowie now to Olise on the right hand side, cuts in under the right corner of the penalty area and drifts one to the back post where Coman is. Oh, it's headed down by Murati. He maybe could have let that one go, but Tracy gets to it before Muller anyway. And Connor Tracy, ball in hand, they'll volley it left footed down the field, but Meyer Bevan will need a motorbike to get that one. It takes one bounce to Manuel Neuer, who rather confidently just lets it take a bounce before volleying it back to Josip Stanisic. He had plenty of time to do more with that one, but Manuel Neuer, one of the original great goalkeepers with the ball at his feet. Here's Pavlovic now, around 30 yards from goal. Kimmich's going to hit one, blocked by Den Heyer. Garriga now to Lobo. Away he comes down the left, but under pressure from Bowie and fouled by Sacha Bowie. So free kick to Auckland City on the left flank. Around 20 yards, 25 yards from their own byline. And, well, Michael Olise, well, if you want to know how Bayern are treating this game, he was trying to push Lobo back to take the free kick a couple of yards, but the linesman said, no, that's the correct location. So any thoughts that Bayern might have been, taking this one a little bit lighter, certainly have been put to rest. That's out for a throw-in on the right-hand side. Bowie will take after getting the ball back from his manager. Now Ta. Stanisic. Guerrero, left-hand side, midway inside the Auckland City half. Clips one forward to Coman. Coman on the left-hand side at the byline. Trying to go away from Murati. Can't do so, but it's crossed in by Guerrero. Flicked away. Now Bowie's going to have a chance to hit one. Doesn't. He'll play it in for Muller, and his shot is deflected away. And then cleared by Lobo. And Ta will get to that one, and there's an offside flag up against who I'm not quite sure, but it was Thomas Muller, I think. Let's have another look at this one. Yeah, it's close yet, but Muller's just beyond the last man as Sasha Bowie drilled that ball back across. Muller couldn't get a shot away cleanly anyway. Still no word on where he will be going this summer. The initial talk was he wouldn't be travelling with the squad, but has clearly been convinced for one last hurrah stateside for Bayern, having said goodbye to the Allianz Arena faithful as they secured the title at the end of last season. Here's Lobo now back to Boxall. That's it onto the right hand touchline for Auckland City. Given away though by Yu. And one back by Coman. Now Guerrero de Elise in the centre circle. On the left, Muller. Oh, good delivery. Looking for Kane. It's just too long. I think Mitchell might have got a touch on it anyway, but takes a bounce through to Tracy in goal. So as I said, Auckland City, well, Bayern went through after taking the lead on 6 minutes, then between 17th, 20th and 22nd minutes, they got their second, third and fourth, and well, you worried for Auckland City, and by no means are they out of the woods, but certainly they've done well this past 15 minutes to ride out the pressure and keep the deficit of 4 for now. There's Muradi. He rolls it across to Boxall. To Illich, the Coca-Cola sales rep. There's day job. Said in an interview this week that he's used up all his annual leave to be here, which I'd say is true for many of his teammates and staff. Here's Keane now. To Coman. Coman hits one, blocked and away by Manicum. And now Murati to Yu. Right hand touchline midway inside his own half. Yu looks to open one up, but plays a pass straight to Muller. Now Elise on the edge of the box. Michael Elise, a couple of white shirts around him. They do really well, and Illich will clear away. But Ta gets there before Bevan. The two of them having quite the battle here in this first half. Pavlovic, now Bowie. Bowie to Kimmich. Stanisic. And now Coman on the left. Back to Stanisic. Kimmich. Back to Stanisic. Pavlovic intercepted, but here comes Guerrero. And it's a white wall now for Bayern to get through. Kimmich to Elise, right hand side of the penalty area. Lovely footwork. If anyone's going to pick a lock, it'll be him. Back to Bowie, chips one in there. Away by Mitchell, up above Guerrero. And I think the last touch came off the Portuguese international. That's a goal kick. So we have 5 minutes left of the first half here, where Bayern Munich lead Auckland City by 4-0 here in Cincinnati. Kingsley Coman with 2, Sasha Bowie and Michael Elise with the other 2. All 4 Bayern's goal scorers, French. Here's Boxall. Flicked on by Bevan, but nobody there, and Kimmich will get to it and spreads a nice ball to Guerrero under pressure from Yu. Good work from David Yu, and away he comes, and he wins a free kick off Guerrero midway inside his own half. So good defensive effort there from David Yu. So it'll be Nico Boxall take the goal kick, rolls it to Den Heyer, who was initially listed as a midfielder, but it seems to have dropped more into a third centre half role with Mitchell and Boxall, with the captain Illich and Garriga ahead of them. Now there's a nice ball there for Elise, right corner of the penalty area. Good work from Dylan Lobo, and his clearance deflects off Bowie, out for a throw in on the left. You can see the exertion there on some of the shirts of the Auckland City players. Their white jerseys are, well, they're helping them. They have to make a change to those jerseys at half time. They're sticking to them and nearly becoming see-through. As Nathan Lobo will take this throw in on the left hand side, in line with the edge of his 18-yard box. Ta wins a header. Den Heyer gets there before Muller. Goes back to Lobo. He'll send it left footed down the line, looking for Manicum. Stanisic gets there though, and we'll go back to Neuer on the edge of his box. That's really the only time we've seen Manuel Neuer in this first half, is getting the odd back pass from his defenders to involve him in the game. Auckland City have not been able to trouble him as of yet, probably predictably so. Now here's Bowie to Elise. Back to Bowie on the right hand side. The two of them take the game down to walking pace. Elise back to Kimmich. Arrows one on the left corner of the penalty area for Coman. Steps inside. Kimmich now on the edge of the box, faced up by Ilic. Twists and turns to get away from Mario Ilic, and now finds Josip Stanisic. Alexander Pavlovic, who thought about a shot, but instead plays it to Muller, and it's all very close quarters here, but Muller tries to open one up, header away by Boxall, ahead of Kane. Now Elise speeds away from Lobo, and now Muller, right hand corner of the penalty area. Rolls it back into Elise. Elise thinks about heading it, instead plays it to Coman. Left hand side of the penalty area, back to Pavlovic. There really is a white wall in front of them, it's blocked by Ilic. Comes back to Ta, and now Bowie. Muller, right corner of the penalty area. Kimmich. It's all very close quarters here as we approach half time in Cincinnati. Now Coman shimmies on his right foot and hits one to the near post. Good save, Tracy again, and he's going to beat Guerrero to that one and stop it from going from a corner. Really nice save from Connor Tracy. He's produced some excellent saves in his first half. That might be the best one yet. He's denied Kingsley Coman a couple of times, and he gets down low to his right as Coman's low effort threatened the nestle in the bottom corner. A great save by Connor Tracy and great reactions as Guerrero was bearing down to stop him getting to it, or else stop it from going for a corner. And he's been impressive in his first half, Connor Tracy. Not often you can say that about a goalkeeper who concedes 4 goals inside 22 minutes, but he's denied Coman a couple of times and has also made a save from Harry Kane. Now here's Stanisic and now Kimmich. Kimmich looking for Muller, overhits it though. Den Heyer gets there. Den Heyer back to Ta, now gives it away in midfield. Elise, Kane, Elise, Bowie. The two of them playing a little bit of keep ball. Dylan Manicum not being tempted in by them. Elise flicks it over the top looking for Muller, headed away by Boxall. Ilic flicks it away again on the edge of the box, and now Elise. We're into the final minute of the 45 here. We'll see shortly what sort of added time our Senegalese official Issa Sey will give. Coman and now Guerrero. Stanisic to Ta. Pavlovic dinks one in. Pavlovic, Den Heyer heads it away. Lobo completes the clearance. So Auckland City, as you expect, back to the wall, but doing a good job here. Can they hold out and prevent a fifth for Bayern before half time? Elise, good ball, maybe not. Muller, oh, just as I said that. Curse of the commentator, and it's Thomas Muller with a lovely side-footed cushion volley into the back of the net. Brilliant ball from Michael Elise, and just before the 45 minutes are up, Bayern make it 5-0, and it's Thomas Muller, the man who has already said goodbye to the Munich faithful and has been convinced for one last trip across the Atlantic for Bayern to maybe get his hands on another trophy. And that's a brilliant whipping ball from Michael Elise. Muller just nips away from his marker, Michael Den Heyer, and just softly with an instep with his left foot on the volley into the back of the net, he blows Michael Elise a kiss. That was a brilliant ball from the French international. We're going to have 4 added minutes here, by the way, at the end of this first half. Trying to work out where they might have come from. I know we've had 5 goals, but there we go. 4 added minutes. We're into them now. And it's Bayern Munich 5, Auckland City FC 0. Vincent Kompany's men dominating as you'd expect, although Meyer Bevan is certainly not giving Jonathan Ta an easy afternoon in his debut. Certainly not as easy as expect anyway, but he's been cutting a lone figure up there, Meyer Bevan. Now here's Kimmich. Arrows a pass, right footer out to Elise on the right. Bowie is underlapping really, as Elise is on the wing. Faced up by Lobo. Elise, gets past him. Lovely footwork. Michael Elise is so quick. He's still going. Elise goes to ground. No penalty. Nico Boxall with a challenge. Michael Elise, I think, thought that one might have been a penalty. Let's have another look. Yeah, no, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that Boxall makes any contact with Elise, and Elise just overruns the ball. So, good call from Issa Sey, our referee. It's Ta in the centre circle. Takes a chest down from Manuel Neuer, who's enjoying himself back there, getting touches of the ball. So for a throw in, there was Ta tried to find Guerrero. Throw in on the right hand side, midway inside their own half for Auckland City. It's a really nice fifth goal for Bayern. Nothing Connor Tracy could do. It was a lovely whip ball from Michael Elise. Here's Gerard Garriga now for Auckland City, the Spanish midfielder. Lovely whip ball and a nice finish from Muller as Guerrero wins it back on the left hand side off of Bejont Murati. And now here's Kimmich. Kimmich dinks over the top. Harry Kane. Not often Bayern score 5 and he hasn't got one, so I'm certain he'll not rest until he's got at least one. Here's Muller who delivers it. Good header away by Mitchell. Ta gets it back midway inside the Auckland City half. Finds Pavlovic. Pavlovic, a couple of step overs there from Coman to Boue. Now Elise, right corner of the penalty area. As you go to think about a shot, he runs across the edge of the box. Does get a shot. Oh, lovely. Michael Elise. A wry smile on his face. He gets the 6th before half time. And Bayern are just putting on a clinic here this afternoon in Cincinnati. What a finish from Michael Elise. And that's 6-0 to Bayern Munich in first half stoppage time here. Elise gets the ball in the right corner of the penalty area. And he just sort of runs along the edge of the 18-yard box a few steps, and then just no backlift whatsoever to the shot. He uses the Auckland defenders in front of him. Mario Ilic is one of them as a bit of a shield, and then whips one left-footed into the bottom corner. I don't care who that's against, what the score is, nothing. That is just a stunning, stunning goal from Michael Elise. And Bayern Munich make it 6 before half-time. As Elise joins Coman in getting a double. And now he's won it back off Manicum, and I think maybe Auckland City will just be looking at the half-time whistle, which is just coming imminently here now, just to get themselves a bit of a breather. But there's Meyer Bevan and Jonathan Ta clashing again, and it's a free kick to Auckland City on the halfway line. As there, Sywell. They have been brave in this first half, but Bayern Munich, as the half-time whistle goes, have shown their quality. None more so than that 6th goal right on the stroke of half-time from Michael Elise. Stunning. He's got 2. Kingsley Coman has 2 after opening the scoring. Sasha Boue and Thomas Muller are also on the score sheet here.
Go.